God, she hated him. God, I fucking hated him. That's all she could think about. That's all she thought about all day. Even with the world gone. Even with her kids gone. Even with the threat of starvation, wild animals, and those things, the most common thought was, God, out of everyone on this fucked up planet, why do I have to be stuck with the only fuckwit I've ever wanted to kill? God, I love her. That's all he could think about. That's all he thought about all day. Jesus, out of everyone I could be stuck with, you sent my soulmate. Thank you. Jesus Christ, Frank. Wake the hell up. That's how Frank spent most of his mornings, being yelled at by Avery. Avery spent most of her mornings, nay, her days, yelling at Frank, berating him, insulting him, ordering him around. Avery hated a lot of things about Frank, but Frank was good for one thing: tasks she didn't want to do. She assumed he was ex-military, judging from his physique and the way he took orders so well. Frank was not, in fact, ex-military. But he loved her. God, he would have died for her. He would have faced the things for her. But, whilst starstruck, Frank was not an idiot. He knew she didn't love him. In fact, Frank knew she hated him. But God, what would be the point of this, of everything that's happened, if he didn't come out with something? Surely, God would have a plan, right? Avery determined a long time ago that God wasn't real. How could he be? Those things would spit in God's eye, right before they would tear him limb from limb, and leave his corpse hung from their nests. But more importantly, she knew God wasn't real because out of everyone on earth, of course she was stuck with Frank. They came at night. They knew that. They planned for that. But they could never plan for this. The things were inside the farm. They had already destroyed all the livestock that they had spent years meticulously building up. They both realized it was over. Even if they managed to kill the things, they would starve. It took all night. It took all her ammo. It took everything. But she survived. But she didn't feel like she survived. Frank was gone. The things took him. The worst part? She never got to say goodbye. Sometime during the night, Avery looked to her left and Frank was just gone. The things snatched him away sometime during the fight, and Avery was so focused on herself, on just living, that she didn't even notice. God wasn't real. Avery determined this a long time ago. I mean, after all, how could God be real if he took Frank away from her? There was some good news though. Turns out, some of the cattle had survived. And she found a box of ammo scavenging. But what was the point? Frank was gone. As Avery slowly put a single bullet in her revolver, her hands shaking, she spun the cylinder. God, I miss him so much. Click. I never said goodbye. Click. Oh my God, he thought, click. He thought I fucking hated him.